higher is to break back above the zone. If we can manage to get back above the zone, we can speak about seeing this resistance zone again, back, and potentially higher. Of course, as for now, the bias is showing that we are under this zone. We are currently rejecting this zone. So downside momentum is still very possible. What's up, guys? Cryptomindd here. So let's just immediately get into the price action. How is Bitcoin looking like right now? So we finally had a breakout out of this reversal pattern. This reversal pattern was very clear. A lot of Instagram stories and tweets passed by, oh, Bitcoin going to 35, 32K, blah, 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 blah. Eventually that didn't happen. Why? Because we didn't break the resistance in full. The retest that happened the next day was very clear, a rejection of that resistance, and that we would continue to go lower. Eventually we broke under this zone right here around $30,400. We broke under it and we found support back here at this region of around $29,900. Now, what happened here is that we retested this zone, and as for what it looks like right now, it looks like we are rejecting this zone. So, crucial for Bitcoin, if it wants to go higher, is to break back above this zone. If we can manage to get back above the zone, we can speak about seeing this resistance zone again, back, and potentially higher. Of course, as for now, the bias is showing that we are under this zone. We are currently rejecting this zone. So downside momentum is still very possible. What has to happen for this downside momentum to happen? A break, obviously, under the support zone right here. If we break under the support zone, very obviously we'll go to the targets, as I mentioned already before, of $28,500 and under there around $27,300. So that's a little bit of the outlook right now on Bitcoin. Don't forget, if Bitcoin will go bearish, the rest of the market will go bearish also. So do not expect massive bullish momentum if we do fall under this zone for altcoins. Altcoins will just mimic its behavior. The weekly also looking pretty bearish as we're rejecting this zone. So downside momentum is very logical to be expected, at least a retest of this zone, as it's a structural zone also. Well, ideally on the weekly I could place it here around 28,000, but roughly comes down to the same anyway. Now, my overall perspective is still a expected retest of $21,600. I still do expect towards the winter that we might retest this zone. Of course, we can only be assured if we break under other key support zones, which is not the case right now. But this is a pretty good target that I have in mind to be retested, and where we could potentially find good buying opportunities again for Bitcoin before the next cycle starts, which is the bullish cycle. This cycle still remains a little bit of a no man's land. This no man's land is ideal to stack in for everybody, to find your investments, find a good entry price, for example, Bitcoin. People who bought in, including me, around this price, geniuses in my opinion. Everybody was screaming to go lower, lower, and a lot of people still are. A lot of people still screaming that price will go lower towards 12,500, 10,000, 8,000, 9,000. Guys, I do not see that happening whatsoever. We had what, a 80% or 78% correction from the top to the bottom, a 70% correction. So if all goes well, we have the halving, and this, for people who already saw my other video where I explained the Bitcoin cycle a little bit, we could expect towards the winter of 2025 that a new Bitcoin top might be in. But of course, let's remain where we are right now and anticipate on level per level till the halving is roughly happening. Let's go over to Ethereum. Ethereum still remaining within the same pattern, still remaining within the same criteria as well. Currently still rejecting the zone here. So as with the last update, as long as we don't break above this level, under this level, Ethereum is not falling lower. Ethereum will basically just mimic Bitcoin's behavior. As soon as Bitcoin manages to break under its support zone of 29,900, could expect Ethereum to at least retest this zone and potentially even break it towards these regions and then lower towards this region. So Ethereum overall does still look bearish and will mimic Bitcoin's behavior. For me to turn bearish on Ethereum, obviously we do need a break above this resistance right here, invalidate this weekly. I will not say that it's a very obvious pattern, but there's like a type of pattern here, like a flag type of pattern. If we want to invalidate it, we have to break above this zone in the first place. So Ethereum just overall the same. Now let's go into Ripple. Your Ripplers finally deserving a good push. Now, how is Ripple looking like? It's looking pretty good overall. Don't forget, it will follow Bitcoin's behavior. Now, what I'm seeing here for Ripple is that might form a type of cup and handle pattern. I'm not a fan of those type of patterns, but it looks something like, I don't know where I can find the drawing thing here. Looks something like this, and then this, and then price shoots up. Yeah, it looks kind of like a cup, as you can see, boom, with the handle, and then eventually price shoots up. This can happen here overall for XRP again, but crucial will be Bitcoin's behavior. What would make me invalidate my bullish perspective on XRP if we close back with under this zone? If price does manage to go down due to Bitcoin's behavior, and we manage to break back under this zone, reject it, which would be considered a structural invalidation, we could see lower momentum incoming. Ideally for XRP, we maintain above around this zone right here. That would be the most ideal. This zone invalidation would make the bullish perspective already in danger, and this zone, a break under there, would completely invalidate the bullish perspective. So if we do hold support here, clearly before it goes any higher, guys, we need to see a break above this resistance here of 83 cents. As long as 83 cents doesn't break, it ain't going nowhere, and that's what you have to remind. It will just simply follow Bitcoin's behavior. Then let's do another random altcoin. Let's quickly talk about Litecoin again. So Litecoin, I'm still within my short position. It overall looks bearish. It will follow Bitcoin's behavior also. We retested this zone here, rejecting it, which is nice. So as soon as we break under $91, we could expect Litecoin to head finally lower, which will be towards the $82 regions, and under there $77, which would be a nice take profit zone already for me. And of course it could get lower depending on what Bitcoin does. Of course, if Bitcoin does retest around 21,000, 22,000, it is very possible to expect Litecoin hitting around these levels again, from between $70 and $65 to round it off. That would make it seem very possible. So guys, overall, well, let's as well talk about Bitcoin dominance. How's Bitcoin dominance looking like? Because this one is an important one for everybody. Most people have to know. For those who don't know, let me quickly explain it to you. When Bitcoin dominance goes up, alt goes down. Bitcoin dominance down, alt can go up. So what happened here, this whole bearish momentum and this bearish momentum here, was a altcoin cycle. This is where altcoins literally exploded. Now, well, in this case, it literally exploded, and these bearish momentums here gave altcoins a mini bullish cycle where they see some nice momentum. Some altcoins might go x2, x3, or just 50%, 60%, whatever it might be. There's a little altcoin cycle going on where they are very bullish. So very important to know this basic thing, that when Bitcoin dominance goes up, alts down, Bitcoin dominance down, alts go up. Now, how is Bitcoin dominance looking like on the daily? Let me actually go to the 4-hour as I drew this reversal pattern here. We're forming this current reversal pattern as we speak. What I would like to see is this pattern hold, obviously, as I would like altcoins, as I'm in the Litecoin short. I would like to see altcoins go down a little bit. What I would like to see is a break above this trend line, this counter trend line right here, and a retest of at least 50%. Now, of course, this is in the short-term perspective. If we do manage to hold and break above 50% on the daily, that will be considered very bullish, would cause potentially more upside momentum in Bitcoin dominance, and this would cause altcoins to bleed, and this makes it again then possible, if we look on the weekly perspective, for Bitcoin dominance to, for example, hold support somewhere here and to then see 54% and higher incoming. So guys, overall, the bull market is not just starting yet. Be patient, it's coming. Stack in smart, buy in smart. Then eventually when the time comes, don't forget to sell. Right guys, see you in the next video.